Hi, I'm making this video for my son. He has dyslexia and um, it's harder for him to read. So instead of writing what I want him to know, I am reading from a book. The book is called 2000 Questions About Me, and I'm going to be reading questions and answering them um, as I go along. And the reason I'm doing this, I'm not dying or nothing, nothing like that. So don't get thinking about that if someone else is watching this. My son doesn't even know I'm making the video. I'm hoping he'll stumble on it when the time's right. But yeah, see, all my life I wished that I had something of my mother, stories she told me, written down, all that kind of stuff. So I'm doing this for my son. Like I said, I'm not dying or nothing, but I'm just making this because you never know what could happen, one day to the next. All right. Now, the book is called 2000 Questions About Me, and I looked all over it and I couldn't find any author's name on it. But you can get the book at Walmart or Amazon or just about any place where you can buy books. I think they even have them on Temu. So, or they did have them. Anyway, let's begin. We'll start on question one. And here goes. What is your idea of perfect happiness? My idea of perfect happiness is probably somewhere uh, where you can live a quiet life in perfect peace without any arguing or fussing, somewhere surrounded by dogs. Dogs and animals and stuff, because I'm an animal lover. Um, and yeah, guess that's my idea of perfect peace. You know, what is your greatest fear? I have a lot of greatest fears. One of my greatest fears is having my head chopped or worms. I'm scared to death of worms. What else is my biggest fear? One of my biggest fears is losing a loved one. You know, that's one of my biggest fears. Another biggest fear is something happening to my dog. You know, she's my everything. All right, number three. What is the trait you most deplore in yourself? Um, trait I most deplore in myself would be that I am a people pleaser. You know, um I care about what people think. I used to not, but all of a sudden I do now, and I wish I didn't. Um, I don't stand up for myself enough like I should, but I'm starting to change that. I'm starting to change that. People are not liking it, but I'm changing it. Oh well. All right. What is your greatest extravagance? Um, extravagance. I guess what I spend a lot of money on. Well, I'm a doll collector and I spend a lot of money on dolls. All right. What is your current state of mind? Well, I'm a little depressed right now. It's just mild. It's not real bad, just mild. And I feel peaceful, but I also feel sad, kind of depressed a bit. What do you consider the most overrated virtue? Well, I don't really think any virtue is overrated. Every virtue has, what's a virtue? So I don't really think any virtue is overrated. Um, Number seven, on what occasion do you lie? Well, if I said I didn't lie, I'd be lying then now, wouldn't I? I think I lie when I'm under pressure. Uh, Someone asks me a question I don't want to answer, like when the doctor tells me, "Have you been taking your medicine?" I'm like, "Sure." You know, I don't want just when I feel pressured, you know, yeah. I try not to lie, though. I'm a Christian, and I try not to lie, but I think every once in a while we all say stuff we shouldn't. Like, someone asks you, "How does their new hairdo look?" And sometimes you feel pressured, you say, "It looks great," if you know it looks awful, that kind of thing. But I try not to lie because I'm a Christian and I want to go to heaven. So yeah, I tried not to lie. I'll say that. Um, Number 8. What do you most dislike about your appearance? Well, what I dislike the most about my appearance is obvious. It's my weight. It's why I've not got my camera on. But I'm in the process of losing my weight, so I thank God for that. So it's just going to be a long process, is all. Number 9, which living person do you most despise? Living person do I most despise? Well, I try not to despise anybody. I mean, you're supposed to love everybody when you're a Christian, and so you're not despise anybody. But what I do despise is I'll tell you what the actions I despise. The actions I despise is people that are abusive. Child abuse, animal abuse, any kind of abuse, I despise with all my heart and soul. I despise it. Let's see. Number 10. What is the quality you most like in a man? Well, I like a man who is kind and who's honest and kind and honest and loyal. I like a man who's fun, who is fun to be around. Someone who'll make me laugh, someone I can cut up and act the fool with, because I'm a big joker, I'm a big prankster. Um, and did I say he has to love animals? Like a man who loves animals, you know. Also, he has to be a Christian, like a man who's a Christian. Those are the qualities I like in a man. I'm not looking for a man though, so yeah. If the Lord wants to send me one, He can, but I'm not out looking for one. Ugh, no thanks. Okay, what is the quality you most like in a woman? Well, in a woman, I am not attracted to women at all. I'm straight, but I don't know if that's what this question was meaning, but I guess as a friend, I like a woman who is don't gossip and talk about people. Someone who's nice and loyal and don't talk about people. Someone who's kind and someone I can, confide in. Yeah, someone who's wise. Number 12. Which words or phrases do you most overuse? Which word or phrases do I most overuse? Well, I can't think of any right now. I know I say when I'm bored or you know acting out, I'll say yo, yo. And when I'm hollering at somebody, I'll say yo. I do that at the restaurants when we go through drive-through. Uh, we'll get up to the speaker and I'll go yo. And my son, if you're listening to this, you hate it when I do that, but it's done out of too much pent up energy and boredom. So yeah. Um, all right. Uh, Number 13. What or who is the greatest love of your life? Well, as of right now, which is February 21st, 2025, the love of my life would probably be Harvey Wayne Markle. Um, I loved him more than anybody I've ever been with, and I felt a connection to him like I've not felt with anybody before. I'm sure my future soulmate will be different. They'll be my love of my life, but as of right now, it's Harvey Wayne Markham. Um, yeah, there was a deep connection there, unlike any I've ever experienced in my life. I mean, um, for a while there, when I wanted to hear from him after we broke up, when I wanted to hear, and this was years when I'd want to hear from him after we broke up, all I had to do was think about him and he would call. Whenever I'd want to hear from him, this was years after we broke up, all I had to do was think about him and he would call. And I love him and I guess I'll always love him. The reason we broke up is his drinking and alcohol use. I couldn't be with somebody that, did drugs and drank. I just I can't live a life like that, and I won't, no matter how much I love somebody. And he stole from people, and he stole from me, and I can't live like that, not knowing if you know one day the next one's gonna be going out of my home. I just can't. But yeah, um, number 14. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? My weight. I would change my weight. Um, yeah, that's what I'd change. That's physical though. Um, would I change anything about my personality? Let me think. Um, I think I'd have more confidence and be more assertive. Yeah. Right. And I wouldn't have social anxiety. I take that away. Yeah. Number 15. What do you consider your greatest achievement? My greatest achievement. Uh, I guess my son. I know my son's this video's for him, but I guess my greatest achievement will be him. I mean, I'm so proud of him. We disagree on a lot of things, but I'm so proud of him, and I love him to the moon and back. I mean, I don't know what I would do without him. He saved my life. He has him and my dog both, Angel. Yeah. All right. Number 16. If you were to die and come back as a person or a thing, what would it be? And that's number 16. I don't want to die and come back as a person or thing. I mean that. Why would I? I mean, if you're an animal, you you have no way to protect yourself. Dogs get abused and treated horribly by people and children and adults both, and they just live horrible lives, and no one seems to care. Few people care about animals. So no, I don't want to come back as an animal, and I don't want to come back as an inanimate object either, or a bug or anything like that. No, no, thanks. I'll pass on that. But it said if I come back up as a person, I don't think I want to come back as a person. Um, I'm gonna stick with being me. Um, I know who I am, and yeah. All right, number 17. Where would you most like to live? Well, I like living where I live right now, which is in Kentucky. I would like a place further off the road than what I have, and I would like to have probably I'd like to have my mother's house fixed up and live out there is what my dream place would be if I. So I guess that. Number 18. What is your most treasured possession? Um, my most treasured possession is my dog. I don't know if you can call a dog a possession since it's a living thing, but my dog is my everything. My angel, she's my world. She's my everything. But if you're talking about inanimate objects that are not living, then I'd say my dolls and pictures of my family. My dolls and pictures of my loved ones. Yeah. All right. Number 19. What do you regard as the lowest depth of misery? The lowest depth of misery, I'd say, is when you lose a loved one, when you lose someone you love, or when you lose a pet. That is the lowest depth of misery to me now. Number 20. What is your favorite occupation? Well, I love to teach. I volunteer to teach classes all the time at the extension office, and I love to teach. When I was little, I would get my dolls around and I would pretend to teach them. I've always loved to teach. Yeah. So, and yeah, I love to teach. Here's a side note. I also used to dream of wanting to act on stage, not as a famous actor who can get recognized. I don't want that, but in a place, you know, in the theater, in plays. Yeah. All right. But yeah, a teacher's what my treasured position. I mean, what my favorite occupation would be. Number 21. What is your most marked characteristic? Marked characteristic. I guess where I'm generous and I'm sweet and I'm nice and I'm very artistic and crafty. You know, I guess those are my most marked characteristics. Number 22. What do you most value in your friends? Well, um, I think I already answered that one at the start. Somebody I can confide in, someone who doesn't gossip, and somebody who's loyal. You know, someone who's fun. Those are what I value in my friends. Somebody who has high morals. Number 23. Who are your favorite writers? Oh my goodness gracious. Who are my favorite writers? Oh, we could talk about this all day. I love Jude Devereaux. I love Ruby Jean Jensen. I love Tamara Thorne. I love Virginia Henley. I love Jude Devereaux and Christopher Pike, Dean Koontz, Stephen King. Yeah, there's a bunch. I don't. Yeah. Okay. I lost where I was. Oh. Right. Who is your hero of fiction? My hero of fiction. Uh, Xena Warrior Princess. Yeah. I love Xena Warrior Princess. That TV show that used to be on years ago? I loved her. She was just awesome. I loved her. And I loved Hercules and that Hercules Legendary Journeys. I thought they were good heroes, stuff. Fiction. Um, which historical figure do you most identify with? Well, I'd say if I had to pick one, it'd probably be Frida Kahlo. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. She is a Mexican artist, and I identify with her because she's an artist and she's had a hard life growing up, and she always, you know, I'm never married, and so far anyway, I the she has awful taste in men, and so do I, and she just had a hard life, and she had to overcome a lot of struggles, and I identify with her because of that. Mm. Who are your heroes in real life? My heroes in real life will be my mother and my son and my daddy. I don't really want to go there. I miss my dad so much and my mom. But yeah, those three are my heroes: my son, my mother, and my dad. I was adopted, so my dad is my real dad, and my mother is actually my grandmother on my dad's side. So it gets a little confusing for anybody watching that's not my son. So that's what that is. Of course, I don't know why anybody would be watching it who's not my son, but if you are, okay, that's fine. I don't mind. Uh, what is your greatest regret? My biggest regret is believing a lie that was told to me through a false prophet who come to this house. And I don't want to go any further into that. because it caused a lot of trouble and hardship in our family. Um, she came here and told a big lie and said it was from God, and I believed her because she was supposed to have been a great woman of God, so I believed her. And it caused a lot of trouble in our family because I believed that lie. I mean, I left home and stayed gone for 6 months because of it, didn't tell anybody where I was at because of the lie that was told to me through that false prophet. And yeah, that is my greatest and biggest regret with her. Um, how would you like to die? Well, I want to die fully awake and aware of what's going on so that I could be praying and calling out to God in case I had done anything that needs to be forgiven for, you know. I want to be praying. I want to die while I'm praying to God. Um, what's your motto? My motto is do unto others as you would have them do unto you, you know. Yeah. Um, do you like watching reruns? I love watching reruns. I watch them all the time. I mean, yeah. Number 31. Have you ever won any kind of contest? Yeah, I've won all kinds of contests. I won the state writing contest. the- I've won the KEHA state writing contest twice. Well, I didn't win it. I got second place in it, you know. But yeah, I got second place twice. And I won two civics awards. One was through an organization called the Art Council, the Redbud Art Council. I won it with them, and I won the first one I won was just me, all the volunteer and work I'd done with the extension office. And of course, I won lots of blue ribbons and stuff for cultural arts for my paintings and for my dolls and stuff I make by hand. So, yeah. What gives you cheap thrills? Cheap thrills. Roller coasters. I love roller coasters. Or I used to. I'm afraid of 'em now. But now I guess I like those things that spin you around and round at the carnival. I love going round and round. And I like when you're going down a road, a country road, and you uh have a steep hill that you go down all of a sudden, and it gives you kind of a thrill, like similar to a roller coaster, that kind of thing. Yeah. Um, this is bad to admit, but I also like telling people off who deserve it, really deserve it. And I'm talking about people that are right down cruel and mean type of deserve it, you know. Um, what do you think is worth waiting for? I think love is worth waiting for. Yeah, that's what I think is worth waiting for. Number 34. Are you an organ donor? If so, why and why not? Well, I'm not an organ donor, but I don't think I'd mind being an organ donor. The only reason I don't is my family didn't want me to. They said that when people that are organ donors makes it really hard on the family after they pass. So that's why I'm not. But I wouldn't mind being an organ donor if it wasn't for that. Um, number 35. Should parenting classes be mandatory for new parents? I'd say it probably would benefit them. I mean, I'd say that not everybody needs parenting classes, but I'd say some do. And if they were mandatory, the ones that need them and wouldn't get them beforehand would get them. Does that make sense? Yeah. Maybe it would keep a lot of abuse from happening. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I think if people are going to be abusive, they're going to be abusive anyway, no matter what. But I don't know. But it would be helpful if they had classes. That way they wouldn't have any excuse, you know. Number 36. What is the number one thing people are always asking you to help with? Well, people are asking me to help with helping them draw, you know, when I have classes. Uh, help with draw, help sew, you know, stuff like that. Number 37. What movie did you love the original but hate the sequel? I can't think of one right now. I usually love the sequels as well as the movies, the first ones. Um, I think when they keep on having sequels over and over and over again, like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, I think it loses something. I think the first few sequels are fine, but after that it starts not being as good. Um, Hocus Pocus, we all had waited and waited for years for a sequel to Hocus Pocus, and when it finally got here, in my opinion, wasn't that great. Now, I want to clarify now that I'm a Christian, I don't really watch scary movies or horror movies anymore. I'm just speaking from the stuff I've watched in the past. So, but I did watch Hocus Pocus while I was a Christian. I probably shouldn't have, but I did. Uh, I just want to clarify that. I don't. I want to be very transparent here. I don't want to. Yeah, no smoke, no way. All right. Number 38. Are you more talk and less action or vice versa? I think I'm a little bit of both. I think I'm talk and action at the same time. Um, yeah. Number 39. Have you ever given someone a handmade present? Yeah, all the time. I mean, just about every year I give someone a handmade present. Some people like them, some people don't. Um, so yeah. I've only had one person not like what I gave them one time, and yeah, and I still regret that to this day. I'm very, I'm very, I give handmade presents away, but I don't do it often. I have to know that it's going to be appreciated before I even give it, because if you ever made anything handmade, you know how hard it is. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of love goes into it, and when it's not appreciated, it hurts. All right, number 40. Do you think Great Britain should be a part of United Europe? I'm not trying to be rude here, but that's really not my concern. I don't really care. Great Britain and Europe, that's their business. I mean, I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about their government or their politics. So I'll just leave that to them. Number 41. Have you ever eaten a whole tube of Pringles by yourself? I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so. 42. Do you like champagne? If so, what's your favorite brand? I don't think I've ever tasted champagne before, but I don't like the taste of alcohol at all. Number 43. What nervous habit do you have? Well, when I'm nervous and feel uncomfortable, I always grab my phone and pretend to scroll through it. It gives me comfort. Just grabbing my phone and pretending to scroll through it, pretending to be doing something, or actually doing something. It's just a way to escape when I'm feeling pressured to socialize. You know, yeah. So that's the nervous habit I have. Number 44. All right, let me go back to number 43. Let me tell you a funny one on number 43. One time I was in such an awkward social situation that I had made plans. I went and got me a empty a carton of cigarettes, and I was going to put it in my purse. And so whenever I got in a social situation, I could hold that carton of cigarettes up and said, "See you later. I'm going to go smoke," even though I don't smoke. Just to escape an awkward. But I never did do that. Because the whole lying thing, you ain't supposed to lie. But yeah. But that was a funny thing I started to do once. Number 44. What do you do when you and your best friend get into a fight? Well, I don't really think me and my best friend have fights that often. Um, but I'm sure when we do, we make up, or if we did, we would make up. You know, um, our best friend is Linda Gibson Johnson, and I don't. We never have fights. Um, if we did, I'm sure we'd talk it out. But yeah. Um, my other best friend is Fake Couch. We don't ever get into fight. Uh, yeah. A close friend of mine is Paula Feudum, and we do get in fights, but we always talk it out and stuff. Yeah. Right. Communication is key in any relationship. No matter what you're doing in life, communication is key. When you get into disagreement or an argument with anyone, you need to sit down and get over your anger and just talk things out. Just communicate more effectively. Most of the time, all argument really is the root cause of it is usually a lack of communication. And if you can get that out of the way, everything should be fine. You know. Oh. Number 45. What do you think should be a wonder of the world that currently isn't? I've never thought of it. I mean, I don't really care about wonders of the world. Uh, wait, no, I guess a wonder of the world. Yeah, I like. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Number 46. What comforts you on bad days? My dog comforts me on bad days. Whenever I'm sad or upset, she usually knows about it and she comes and gives me kisses on the cheek. And she always comforts me. She can make me smile on the saddest and worst days ever. And I've had some pretty stressful and sad days. And Angel's always made things better. Number 47. Do you treat yourself and your body with respect? I think so, yes. I always try to dress decent. Um, I dress modestly. And yeah, I think I do. Um, on second thought, maybe not always, because this is a trigger warning for anybody out there listening. This is a trigger warning. Um, but in the past, I have self harmed before, so maybe, but I don't do it often, or I didn't do it often. But yeah, so maybe not. Uh, number 48. Something you eat that other people would find gross. Uh, I don't really know. I guess I eat weird things all the time. I mean, uh, I always eat weird combinations. But I guess the only weird combination that comes to mind right now is when I used to put mustard on Pringles and eat them that way. I loved eating mustard with Pringles. All right. Number 49. Have you ever broken the law and didn't get caught for it? If so, how? Phew, Lord have mercy. Well, when I was a child, a very young child, there was this doll I wanted. I already had one at home. It was the first Hispanic Barbie, and I wanted mommy to get me another one, and she wouldn't. So I got the earrings off the doll, the earrings and the necklace off the doll, and out of the box, and brought it home and put it on my doll. Mommy know that should have killed me. But yeah, I did it, and I'm ashamed of it. I'm ashamed anytime I broke the law. All right. Something you fear might change you. That's 50. Well, I'm afraid that whenever I lose my weight, all my weight, I'll get stuck on myself. I won't be able to stand myself. I'll be so stuck up because yeah. When I lose all my weight, yeah. Huh. Because I had pretty high self-esteem when I weighed 250. I mean, I had pretty high self-esteem then. I don't weigh much more than that now. Um, but yeah. Number 51. What personality trait in people raises a red flag with you? Gossip. When I meet people and they start gossiping, it immediately raises a red flag with me because if they're talking about somebody to me, then they're probably talking about me to somebody else. So that immediately raises a red flag. And if you've ever been gossiped about, which I have, you don't wanna do it to somebody else. I mean, I don't want nothing to do with it. Number 52. Have you ever resented someone? If so, what for? Well, I guess I resented my mom for being so strict with me when I was growing up. I wasn't allowed to do anything, wasn't hardly allowed to breathe. And it really made my life miserable. And she didn't understand how miserable it made me. But I know that she was just trying to protect me. And now, years later, now that I'm older and can look back and see, I think she saved me from a lot of heartache and trouble. So, yeah. Number 53. How have you changed over the last 5 years? Well, I've grown wiser. I don't put up with as much bull as I used to put up with. And I've grown wiser. I mean, yeah. Number 54. Have you ever painted a house? Yeah. Um, I haven't painted the outside of a house before, but I painted the inside of a house before, the walls and stuff. Number 55. Have you ever had a surprise party that was an actual surprise? No, I don't think so. If I do, I don't remember it. Um, Number 56. What makes you feel miserable? What makes me feel miserable? I guess, um, when I wronged somebody and I know I've wronged them and I go and apologize. The apology doesn't make me feel miserable, but the fact that I wronged them or we argued or I done something I shouldn't have, when I'm in the wrong in an argument, that makes me feel miserable. I don't like being mean to people. I don't like wronging people. Um, I don't like being that way. Um, Number 57. What's the best costume you've ever worn? I don't think I've ever really had a best costume. When I was little, we had those. I lived back in the 80s. I mean, that's when I was a kid back in the 80s. And we always, when we had wore costumes on Halloween, we always wore those cheap, ugly looking costumes. And I never really liked wearing costumes, those ugly costumes. I never did like trick or treating. I always liked looking at other people's costumes, but I never really liked what I had to wear. But I will say this. I've always wanted to dress up in costumes, but and go to like a costume party or something, but I never did, but I always wanted to. But the costume I always wanted to do was one of those Renaissance costumes. I love Renaissance costumes, and I love the Little Red Riding Hood costume. Those are the costumes I always wanted, and those fancy dresses like the Bridgerton era used to be. I mean, those are the costumes I would wear if I could wear what I wanted to. Yeah, I have a place to wear them too. Number 58. What's been the hardest loss you've ever had to take? Losing my mother and my father was the hardest loss I've ever had to take. Number 59. Do you like sunny days or rainy days more? I like sunny days. The rain makes me depressed. But if you ask me if I like sunny days or snowy days better, I say snowy days. I love snow. I'm like Lorelai Gilmore when it snows. Number 60. What does your typical Friday night look like? I usually stay home, watch movies, and relax and kick it. Number 61. Who's your favorite movie director and what's your favorite movie from them? Um, don't really have a favorite movie director. Um, and my favorite movies, there's too many to count. I love the Gone with the Wind series. I love Scarlet, the second part to Gone with the Wind. I actually like Scarlet better than I do the first part. I like Center Stage where they do the ballerina stuff. I like Where the Heart Is. Um, I love Kingdom Come with Whoopi Goldberg. Those are hilarious movies. Um, yeah. I like a lot of the Tyler Perry movies. Yeah. Number 62. What is the funniest thing you've ever got a paper airplane to fly? Furthest you've got a paper airplane. Not very far. I can't fly nothing. Uh, Probably my foot to my foot, you know. It wouldn't fly very far. Number 63. Do you like the person you're becoming? Yeah, I think so. Not my weight's kind of got me bothered right now, but I pretty much as a person, I think I do. Um, yeah. I wish I wasn't as tired all the time as I am now. Number 64. What's the highest you've ever jumped into the water from? Well, I jumped into my mud puddle once, and that was pretty spectacular. So there's that. Number 65. What do you, what do or did you hate most about dating, the dating process? I hate when you first meet them and you're having to get to know them and talk to them. I despise small talk. I hate it, in fact. I don't like all that fake, get to know each other stuff. I don't like it. I don't like all that uncomfortableness. When you're first getting to know someone, you're first dating, they're always on their best behavior, and they're always it just comes off being so fake. I feel such a fakeness from them, and I hate it. I'd rather skip all that altogether. I just don't like it. Um, I'm gonna try to go through all these questions in this book. I don't know if I'll get to it or not, but I'm gonna try to. Uh, uh, my voice is getting hoarse, so yeah. I may stop right there for today and do another video another day. Right now, I'm on question 66, so we'll try to remember that for when I start back the next time. My voice is getting hoarse, and I think I better quit for the day. So have a good day, and if my son, if you're listening to this, I love you, and I hope you enjoy this gift. Um, I'm giving you something I wish my mother had given me, but she didn't know about these books, and she didn't. They wasn't around when she was alive, but I wish I wrote her stories down, so maybe you can have this and enjoy it. Yeah. All right. Talk to you later.